music show. We're your hosts, Laura
and Leanne,
and we're very excited to be trying out this new format to feature some amazing artists we have from around the world.
Yes, I'm actually really excited.
Stepping into new territory, so.
Yes, we will not be awkward, right?
Anyway. On tonight's inaugural episode, we have all the way from West Sussex, England, but originally from Burlington, Ontario, Canada.
Super far.
Very close to us.
Yeah.
The beautifully talented singer-songwriter Melissa Bel. She just released her new single, Summer So Long, which she'll be performing acoustically on this episode. So make sure you stay tuned for that.
Yes, it's actually so good. I can't wait. Yeah, I'm super excited about this. Now, Melissa and I go way back to 2005 when we first met. I used to work at the Toronto Marlies Hockey Club as a game crew member, and she would be doing the national anthem. Okay. So that's how we met, and I would kind of usher her where she needed to go, and she was adorable. And it's no surprise that she is becoming the superstar that she is and pursuing music as her career. So I'm really excited. Now, within her career thus far, Melissa's opened up for artists such as Australian superstar Kylie Minogue, yes, and the Canadian gems that they are, Matthew Good and Joey Landreth from the Landreth brothers. Yeah, they're awesome. They're from the Manitoba. And as well, she's been featured most recently on Avril Lavigne's #1 album, Head Above Water, which we will for sure be asking her about tonight, of course, because how freaking cool is that? And how the heck did that happen? Now, Melissa's most recent album to date was released in 2016 called In the Light, which was produced by Justin Gray, who also produced Amy Winehouse, Joss Stone, and John Legend, who, yes, all three artists I love. And it reached number 49 on the iTunes Top 200 Pop charts, which is also awesome. And it is her first independent album off a label. So she was in full creative control. And honestly, the outcome speaks for itself. So you have to go check that out. And her music is a poppy kind of soulful vibe. And honestly, her voice is just one of a freaking angel. So I'm so excited to have her on tonight. Well, we both are. So, and she's just such a kind soul. And as well, a fun fact, she went to high school, the same high school as Ryan Gosling, Sarah Harmer, and members of Finger 11, the Canadian.
Remember them?
Yes. Which, what are they called? Rainbow Butt Monkeys or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And the high school was Lester B. Pearson, which clearly had some sort of magical energy in it. So anyways, we are going to get to the interview portion with Melissa Bel. So hi, sweet lady.
Hello.
Yay, it's so nice to see your face.
It's wonderful to see your face. It's nice. I love talking to people in Canada because it makes me just feel closer to home.
Oh yes, I know. I was reading like you haven't been back home. Like, so you're from the Toronto area, and you haven't been home obviously because of the pandemic.
Exactly. Yeah. So I live in England. I've been here for 4.5 years, and throughout that time, I've been really lucky to get to come back to Toronto like a couple times a year usually. And so this has been my longest stretch, and just knowing that I can't really, it's getting tough. It is. I'm missing it big time, especially when I see everybody's like cottage pictures and summertime pictures. That, that's the place to be, isn't it?
Oh, it is. I mean, England is too. So, and look, you have a plant there. It's like being at the cottage. The one little plant. It's thriving. So, and it's 8:00 over there. So we're actually really thankful that you're doing this, staying up past, like a 9-year-old's bedtime, I guess. But like, maybe not you in particular, but by the end of this interview, it's going to be like 12. So at the rate we're going. Anyways.
Don't worry, listeners. I won't talk to you for that long.
Oh, but you can talk to me that long if you want.
Okay.
It's been a long time. As I told the viewers, it's been since 2005 that we've known each other, But I haven't seen you probably since Toronto, like the local.
That is true. And actually, just to remind you when you said viewers that this is actually going to be shown as a video. So just a reminder to myself to not not be thinking, like radio right now. Just remember you're on the video. But it's true. It has been so many years, maybe a decade, I would say. Like since we've seen each other in the flesh.
I know, it's just so weird. Anyways, so you're here now. All right, so I mean, you're in England, so I would love you to tell all the lovely viewers how you started in music and what made you want to start, and who your biggest influences have been to like actually want to pursue this career.
Yeah. Well, long story short, I guess I always was singing when I was young. And I was really lucky because my parents nurtured that and they encouraged me to sing and put me in music lessons. And I think I was about 7 when I started getting interested in songwriting. Because I'd seen a show on TV and this little songwriting technique they use, which was like writing down words on paper and then cutting them out and putting them on the floor and kind of rearranging them until you had a lyric. And my first song was a rap. Actually, it was called Believe in Yourself.
Right, believe in yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So that was, I didn't pursue my career in rap, luckily for everybody. And basically, straight out of high school, I was going to go to university. I applied, I planned to go, but my parents actually encouraged me to just pursue music. And my vocal coach at the time, Ray Lyle, he also said, Melissa, if you really want to go for it, you have to go for it full time. And so I just kind of went straight in, and I got really lucky really early. I met a producer and made my first album, and I got signed to an indie label in Toronto fairly young. But it was one of those things where it came too easy too quickly, which gave me the wrong idea in my head of how life really works and of how this would actually go for me now 10 years later, which I'm still going. But I've been a lot of ups and downs. As far as influences, well, musically, like I grew up on classic rock and soul and like Motown music. So yeah, the Beatles have always been huge, like Aretha Franklin, Stevie Wonder, just like the classics. And I always go back to the classics. My papa used to play Patsy Cline in the car when we drove around. And so that was, one of my first intros to country music. So yeah, I always go back to the classics more than anything.
Some good classics. And you always, like, when I've seen you perform, like you do like the Honey Jam, like you've done a lot of the R&B soul kind of, you have that vibe, like what, like as I've seen you progress in your career. So it's kind of interesting now that you have these few songs, even Can't Go Home, or it Can't Go Home, like in May you released, and this one, Summer So Long, is like very country vibe.
Very country.
So it's interesting that you've transitioned there. But Laura was actually saying like that the UK has a huge little,
I don't know if it's huge, but there's a little scene,
like a country scene.
Yeah,
there's definitely like this hot emerging country scene in the UK. Something I've never considered myself a part of or been a part of, like the country scene, neither here or in Canada. And still, I really hesitate to say I'm doing country now. Yeah. I think it's just, I've had this thing where throughout my career, which I think has been a detriment to me as an artist when it comes to like a marketing standpoint, and just I do like a lot of different genres. I like to write and sing a lot of different genres, and so that can get confusing for say a potential fan. I think trying to just figure out what what playlist do you go on and that and but just over the last couple of years, every time I write a song, I write it on acoustic guitar, so that's like one thing, but then it can still go anywhere. But I'm just releasing like what I feel like, I guess now. I'm just feeling, like it, and it's really, it comes from a genuine place. And so I'm super happy with it. It really feels like me actually, which is nice, because I feel like I was searching for a very long time.
Yes, I agree. Actually, it does feel like super natural and at ease. Like when I'm just listening to it, like it does feel like just the whole like vibes of the songs. It does feel like you, to me, the energy wise, very relaxed, like. And
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah. And just these days, I guess I've just taken more control of everything I put out. And, like the recording process, I'm way more involved in than I would have been when 10 years ago when I started out and I was too nervous to say anything in the studio. I just didn't know what I wanted then as well. And I liked everything I've done at the time for sure. And I still like most of it now. I'm not saying I'll probably do some more pop. I'll probably do some more like maybe R&B soul stuff. But the thing is with country music, country soul blues, there's just huge crossover. And you guys did something on an Americano episode. Mm-hmm. And you described it, like the definition of it. I was like, yep, that's what I'm doing. And so I've been using that word Americana. Yeah.
That's what I would have said.
Yeah, that totally fits.
These last few minutes. No, that makes sense. And I love Americana. Oh. Yeah. Well, thank you for that. That was very beautiful. Now, what is your motivation behind playing music? And from the start of your career until now, like, because obviously as a kid, maybe I want to be famous or I want to like be like Britney Spears or whoever the heck when you were like talking or influenced by that Aretha Franklin. But yeah, what kind of has been your motivation for continuing on this very arduous career path sometimes?
Yeah, you're right. It has been a change of motivation over the years, I guess. Because when I started out, it was just like, well, I want to be a star.
Yeah.
Right. Of course I was going to be famous by the time I was 22, and super successful. And I guess, it was, I loved singing. I loved songwriting, but I was probably equally as attracted to the idea of being famous, being a star, whatever that all is. And now I honestly don't have any interest in being famous. I just want to be able to do music every day and a combination of things like releasing my artist stuff, songwriting for other projects. And if I can just get by doing that, and I'd like to have a good few thousand fans across the world.
Yeah.
I like, I like to maybe sell out Massey Hall or something. Like it, and I don't know, because I know with artists, it's such I don't know if there's, I'm sure some people get to the point in life with like, yep, I'm good, I'm stable, but obviously we don't all get there. And that's just, now I've realized that's kind of part of the journey. But now, it's no longer a when I make it, it's no, this is just what I'm doing today and I'm enjoying it and I'm really liking it. So I've taken some of the pressure off myself, which I think has also allowed me to create and release music from like just a more organic place.
That makes sense. Yeah, it would flow better because you're not blocking it with all this like pressure to succeed and pressure to put out something that you think other people might enjoy. Like just, it doesn't really come from what you want. And so that would actually really translate into what you're going to create too. And it won't feel organic and it won't feel authentic either at times, I'm sure, when you're putting that pressure. So
yeah. And then over the years I've had various external sources putting pressure on me to sound and look a certain way. And so it's and like I was saying, I'm 31 now, and
no.
Right, I know, I'm sorry. Yeah, I wasn't 9 when we met.
I think she was probably like 9 years old. And yeah, no, I'm pretty sure she was actually. I can't believe that. Actually, like, I mean, I can. Looking at you, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
I love that so much. But like before I turned 30, I mean, I had like a crisis about it because I was like, well, my chances of making it a music are over, because that's what few things had led me to believe. And it, in the pop world, it's especially tough, but there's a place for women in their 30s making music. And I finally realized that, and like I'm pretty stoked about it, to be honest.
I'm glad. It's true though, and I find it so ridiculous because as you grow, like you're evolving into even like more like balanced, more like wise person. So like the music that would come as you grow would just have more substance and more just, so it's really terrible that all, even acting, like all of these creative industries are like making it like the younger people are the marketable people, when 31 is like still young. Like, it's still like, what? Like, why does that even seem old? Like, it's so weird to me.
Yeah. And I guess, like, you know, I assume that my music will resonate with people closer to my age. If my music's resonating with 18-year-olds, awesome. If it's resonating with like 65-year-olds, also great. But it's just, obviously we change so much just from when we're 20 to 30, and I have different things to say now than I would have. And so yeah, so it's good. It's not, you know, it's not a breeze, but I still feel like now I kind of know what I'm. Do I know what I'm doing? Maybe I know what I'm doing more than I did 5-10 years ago.
Totally. You do. And you're going to learn more in the next like 70 years.
That's, did you say 70?
Yes.
Fingers crossed.
I want to be 120. Like, that's
For you.
Yes. My year.
It's on the record.
Yes, 80 more. No, I mean, like, you know, 90 more years.
You're 25, right?
I'm 25.
Do it, Leanne.
Yeah. Okay, enough of that. Now you are living in UK, and obviously we kind of want to know how you got there from Ontario, because you do have a really cute story.
Yeah, it's a crazy one, really. So almost 5 years ago now. Yeah, I was in Las Vegas, as most love stories begin, and I was there for my friend's wedding and bachelorette in one weekend. And when it was our first night, had the bachelorette party. It's about 3:30 in the morning. We got back to the hotel, and I was like, okay, I'm ready for bed. I'd mostly sobered up at that point, but the girls were still downstairs it was in a Margaritaville, and said, come downstairs for one more drink. And I was like, fine. And I walked down, and I saw this guy who my friends were actually already speaking to his group of friends. So I was like, sweet, because I just saw him, and I was like, oh, I think he's the one. I didn't believe in that feeling or that experience until I did have it. And
wow.
So long story short, it was his last night in Vegas, and we spent the next 8 hours together or whatever, and then he left the next day. And then that day I told my friend, yeah, I met the one. And less than 4 months after that, I moved over here to be with him. And yeah, now we're engaged.
Yes.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you.
I love it. You're giving hope. It's true.
Or you find it.
That's right. See, they can't say that you can't meet someone in a bar or Vegas.
Exactly. Don't let them tell you what happens in Vegas stays there.
That's right. It moved to England. You brought Vegas to the UK. And you get to be around cute accents all the time. So it's over here, and that will be it. All right. Well, thank you for sharing. Well, and also, like, the music scene from Canada to, like, as opposed to England, has it been a weird transition? Like, what is it, like, what are some of the perks maybe being in the UK as opposed to Toronto, or have you noticed the difference maybe even?
So the transition was, I would say, relatively smooth. It was kind of a funny time for me. I was almost ready to like start fresh. Felt like I'd gone a bit stale on what I was doing. And it was strange coming to a new place where hardly anybody knew me, and I could start again. And I was really welcomed into this great music scene down in Exeter in Devon, where we used to live. So that was about 3 hours from London, and I would go to London to play occasionally. But now we live about an hour and 20 minutes from London, which is great, especially for like songwriting sessions for me as well. Well, doesn't matter now. We just do it on Zoom.
That's true.
Yeah, but you know what? I've played a couple gigs here in London and or other places where fans who saw me play when I was here in like 2013 saw me, and they came back, you know, like 5-6 years later, and I was like, that is awesome.
You made it.
Right?
The little moments like that. Like, it's a big moment. Someone like remembered you from 7 years ago.
It's absolutely, I know. And it's those little things, I think, that also kind of keep me going. Like every time I do a live stream on whatever, where I'm doing a live stream concert these days, and just, there could just be a few people there watching, but they come back, you know, every time. And it just, yeah, it feels good. It feels like it's worth it.
Oh, that's so good. And you know, it's so true though. It's like the gratitude for those like few people, you think, because those people are being impacted, who then will tell somebody else, or, you know, it just snowballs, and like, it's just,
Yeah, exactly.
The energy just builds. So I'm so excited for you. That's precious. God. All right. Well, with this pandemic, that's actually kind of a good little segue because, like, was it hard? I mean, obviously everything shut down. Did you must have had like gigs lined up, and like, how did it affect your motivation? Like, how did it affect you during this like kind of time? Because were you motivated to even play? Because a lot of people were not at all.
Yeah. You know what? I got to realize that I'm truly an introvert inside and I love staying home.
Yeah.
I love being at home like all the time. And I was able to be quite productive over lockdown, I'd say. I built up my home studio, which just, getting a few new pieces of gear, learning how to use like, a production software. And that has opened doors for me just within the last few months. And that's also made me feel like maybe I could actually start co-producing, maybe even producing my songs, which even a year ago, I wouldn't have considered one of those other things that I just assumed I couldn't do. But of course I can, if I want to. And so it was really good for me. It was obviously adapting. Yeah, I couldn't play any gigs. Uncertain time, luckily like my partner's job was good, and so we were fine, but I wrote a few songs. I'm not going to say I wrote an album, but overall I kind of worked. I almost took my job for playing at nights on the weekends too. I kind of said, okay, I don't know, maybe 10 a.m. I'm not a morning person. 10 to 6, or I would set my work hours and pretty much stick to them, and that I felt like I got a lot done. And now I've kind of transitioned into that now that there still aren't very many gigs, and I'm really enjoying it.
Oh, good. So more structure, more flow in that way. It's like intentional living.
Yes. Yeah. I think I've been able to focus a bit more, and because I wasn't, quite as tired from slugging it out in the pubs all weekend late at night. And then I focused my energy on other things, like my original music, I guess, and songwriting for other projects, which is really where my heart lies.
Oh, that's so good. Even to you realize though, like to pinpoint now what is more enjoyable in your career at this point, and to learn new things. Like, that's so cool.
It is. Well, that's it. You never stop learning. And that's one of the things I've learned over this journey is that you just need to diversify yourself as much as you can when it comes to your skills, and don't be afraid to just do everything for yourself until you can either afford to pay someone to do it for you, or have that team around you, or you're at the level where you just have other people doing it. Because that was one of the problems with getting a bit of success very early on, is I didn't take enough upon myself to do, and now I am, and I've never felt probably so competent and just happy with what I'm doing. So it's been really good.
Oh, I love it. Well, that's so good. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
You are welcome. So the last. So go ahead. What?
Sorry. I'll just say I'll probably never sing another anthem again because I'm too scared. I have nightmares now that I'm singing the anthem at big games, forgetting the words, and it's just the kind of thing where when I was. Well, I think I was probably 16, 17 when we met, and that's what I was doing. And it's just, you got all the bravery in the world at that point in time. Now I'm just now I retire from anthem singing.
Good for you. Honestly, it's super brave because there have been so many people that have forgotten the words, and people are so mean. Did you see that video? So for people who don't know, there's a radio DJ named Josie Dye who took a challenge, I think, on herself to sing the anthem, and she did it on a Leaf game, like a Toronto Maple Leafs game, and she effed up so bad, so bad. It was like heartbreakingly just painful to watch, and people were just so mean, but she really did it to challenge herself, and I'm like, good for you. People can shut up because you would never do it yourself. But and it was
it's making my stomach churn just thinking about it.
Okay, we'll just get off this. I can imagine though, I've seen it and it's just no thanks. But good for you.
Quitting while I'm ahead.
That's right. You're just moving on. So, okay, the last question that I'm just gonna ask for this segment is, so I I did mention in the intro that you were featured as a co-writer on Avril Lavigne's #1 recent album, Head Over Water.
Head Above Water.
Head Above Water.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know why. I guess I wrote that wrong. Head
I
Above.
know that's okay. It's probably because the song is called "Tell Me It's Over."
Yeah. Oh, that's why. That actually is exactly why. So Head Above Water, because that is. I guess it kind of makes sense. Head over water too. It can go both ways.
It means the same thing.
It means the same. But it did reach #1. Yes, and tell me it's over.
Yes.
Yeah. So how did that come about? Like, that's amazing. And how has it kind of, progressed your career in whatever way it affected your career? Like, did it seem to affect it a little bit, or did you get any opportunity?
Well, it's kind of, it spurred the desire in me to write for other projects and artists other than myself, and kind of gave me this confidence that I hadn't had before, where like, okay, yeah, I belong in these songwriting situations and sessions. And so, and it's true, it helps me get my emails opened, and replied to a bit more, which is nice. And it's just, honestly, I was kind of in the right place at the right time. And it's an amazing thing to have been a part of. So yeah, it just kind of got me on this other path that I never really knew I could do or would do as a songwriter, which turns out is like really separate to your artist career. And I love both. So it's awesome.
Oh, that's so cool. Like, honestly, I find that brave. Like, she goes to Nashville, like, she's a singer-songwriter too, and like she would go, you do writing sessions and like and I don't know how, like, it's too much pressure. Like, I block myself so much in writing, and I'd like to have other people like waiting for me to say something, even though I could talk so much, but like to actually like say like, this is the line that I am thinking of. Like, no.
It takes some getting used to, for sure. And I do think songwriting is a bit like a muscle, where the more you use it, just that the stronger it gets. And it's not going to be the best song every time, and I think you just have to know that, and that's fine, and nobody expects it to be. So, but it's true, it can be nerve-wracking still. Yeah.
And I expect it to be. This is my problem. I want it to be the best one every time. And then I let down, and I'm like, anyway. Well, that's really cool. Congratulations. I think that's so cool. Well, thank you so much, Melissa, for answering all the questions. Yes, you're beautiful. Yes, that concludes our interview portion. Okay.
All right. #1, your favorite car snack for a road trip.
Okay, over here there's this like gummy worm candy called Colin the Caterpillars. They're vegetarian, and I just smash bags of them on road trips.
Favorite career memory?
Favorite career memory. That's really tough. Speaking of Honey Jam, actually, when I went to Barbados, like, because obviously, like, the Honey Jam in Toronto was unreal, and then went to Barbados and played there, and that just like the way the crowd just took me in. That's up there, the highlight.
That sounds beautiful.
Favorite summer activity?
Swimming, I guess, but like in a lake or the sea, because here we have the sea, which is nice.
Yeah.
What musician has impressed you?
Oh, too many. Go check out Brooke Paulson, Toronto girl. Well, Winnipeg girl in Toronto. She impresses me a lot.
Yes, it's you guys. Yes.
Worst fear?
Oh, masks.
Oh.
Not the kind of face mask we're wearing now. I'm perfectly okay with those. And I wear mine. It's actually like Halloween masks. Like,
okay.
I know. Yeah.
They're scary.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Phone call or text?
Oh, text.
What's worse, laundry or dishes?
Dishes.
Agreed.
Receive an email or a letter? Would you
rather? I'd like to get a letter, but if we've actually got something to get done, just an email, please.
Bath or a shower?
Bath. I do like a bath.
Would you rather never be able to speak again, or have to say everything on your mind?
My mind is pure. I'd rather have to say everything on my mind.
All right. Would you rather know all the world's languages or be able to speak with animals?
Oh, speak with animals.
Okay.
I do too.
And the single most valuable thing you've learned.
I think like just listen to your gut, like listen to that voice inside you, because it I think it's right. It knows, you know, inside somewhere. Yeah, and follow it.
No, it's so true. Well, that's your heart speaking.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah, and that is your voice. Like, that is the truth.
Okay, that concludes Rapid Fire.
Rapid fire!
That's a good segment. I hope you ladies keep that up. That's fun.
Theme song.
All right, well, the moment we've all been waiting for, and why you are here as well, is that you released your newest single, Summer So Long, August 28th.
Yes. You know what? I've never even mentioned that this whole interview. This is why I'm horrible at promoting myself. I was just having a good time chatting.
Oh, yes, I know. Well, we brought it up in
Okay.
Yeah, we talked about
it. Oh, yeah, we'll just say we brought it
Thank
up.
you.
I also didn't ask about it because I wanted to save it for now.
Okay.
So you recently released your newest single, August 28th, 2020. Same as you released a song that day called Summer So Long, which I honestly really love.
Thank you.
The summer is going to go away very soon. It makes me really sad. But before you perform the song, which I'm so excited to hear, just tell us about the song and kind of what inspired you to write it, so that you can follow along on your journey of your performance.
Well, it's a very real feeling for, especially I think in Toronto, like we feel it hard when summer's ending. Well, I can't imagine what it's like in like Edmonton.
Oh, God.
You know, when it's going to get even colder. But, you know, just, it is a sad time. And I wrote this, not this past summer, but the one before. And I just had that feeling on my mind. But more also, I had just generally things that hadn't worked out how I wanted, or things that were coming to an end. And so as much as it is about the end of summer, it's also just, it can be about whatever you want it to be. So the story built around it is like a summer romance that's coming to an end, which we've all been there. But for me, it's not specifically about a summer romance, but it's, you know, it's just about that feeling that comes when you know something's ending.
Yes.
And that you're not quite ready for.
Oh, I love that. A lot of sense. Listening to it, get that. All right, well, without further ado, here's Melissa Bel with Summer So Long.
Thank you.
Away,
So long, summer, so long. Now that you're gone, was it easy moving on? So long, summer, so long. Do you think we got too much of a good thing? Nights were long, felt like we'd be young in love forever. Even though part of me knew better, I let myself surrender to your arms. You could say things haven't worked out quite like I was hoping. All those days spent staring at the ocean, but now all I dream about is you. I'm no good with goodbyes. So long, summer, so long. Now that you're gone, was it easy moving on? So long, summer, so long. Do you think we got too much of a good thing? It's for the best. That's what everybody likes to tell me. Did you even tell your friends about me? Oh, would that so hard to forget. I wish you said goodbye. So long, summer, so long. Now that you're gone, was it easy moving on? So long, summer, so long. Do you think we got too much of a good thing? Drinking cheap champagne and dancing, loving like the world was ending. Left a mark on all my senses. Sun was setting. So long, summer, so long. I know you're gone, but it's taking me some time to move on. So long, summer, so long. Do you think we got too much of a good thing? Yeah, so long, summer, so long. I know you're gone. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So long, summer, so long. Yeah, do you think we got too much of a good thing?
Wow.
So
Oh.
beautiful.
So beautiful. Your voice is so smooth. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you, ladies, so much for having me. Like, I really, really appreciate it.
Oh my God. I'm so happy I'm so glad you like stayed up past your bedtime and we're here with us. But please, before we go, please let everyone know where they can get your music, hear your music, because I know you're on the streaming stuff, but do you have a website even or?
Yeah. So you can find me at melissabel.com, Bell with one L. You can find my music everywhere online that sells or streams music. Just today or recently, whenever this goes out, I've put an acoustic version of Summer So Long on my Bandcamp profile, which is exclusively available there. So go check out Bandcamp. Otherwise find me at Melissa Bel Music on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. And it's Bell with one L.
That's right.
So Melissa Bel with one L.
Yeah.
Yes, go check her out because honestly, all your albums are so great, and your single from May is really great too. The two country-ish songs.
Thank you. Well, I might have another one coming pretty soon.
Ooh, yay! I will be trying to I'll just listen intently. I'll look at your Instagram. I'm gonna stalk you. We do thank you so much, for being our first guest.
Yes, thank you.
I'm honored. Thank you.
We're honored too.
Yes.
No, this has been so fun. And so thank you everyone as well for tuning in to this this first episode. Mm-hmm. We are so appreciative of you tuning in and listening to Melissa, and we are excited to kind of bring this forward.
Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to check out our podcast called The Country Music Show, where we play country music because that's what we need. And it's on all the streaming platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Yes, and please as well, with that podcast, we have our Instagram page and our Facebook page, and we always love, as we've always said on our podcast, that we love your suggestions, your comments. So please,
if they're nice.
If they're nice, yeah, we're very sensitive people. But we've loved hearing from all of you, and we're really excited to kind of continue with this format as well, as best as to our abilities. So we're really excited, and thank you so much for tuning in. I mean, thank you for supporting our podcast as well. It's been really fun. It's been almost 2 years now. Wow. And almost 50 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah. So we really appreciate your support. So yeah. Have a great night.